I'll be honest, I've been thinking about Uranus because of that reaction exactly. You find it funny because it is funny. Uranus is an effortless punchline. The jokes just write themselves. And I did some digging and came to the conclusion that they did it on purpose. They named Uranus on purpose. They could have gone with another variation of the same name, and that's when I knew scientists at the time were in a cold war of pettiness. Hi and welcome. This is the debut episode of my new series, Cosmic Facts. I'm Chris, and you're watching The Cosmic Student. In this video, I want to talk about the names of the planets in the solar system, how they came to be, and go over the controversy behind the last discovered planet. So let's get right into it. Around 350 BC, people could easily see 7 bright objects in the night sky: the sun, the moon, and the 5 brightest planets. Artificial light and smog didn't pollute the environment at the time, allowing for a majestic sighting of the Milky Way starry night, which in turn allowed ancient Roman astronomers to observe, study, and name these objects. If you know a little about ancient mythology, you'll notice that the 5 most visible planets in the night sky are named after the most important deities from the Roman and Greek pantheon. In modern times, scientists follow tradition, naming newly discovered planets after Greek Roman deities. Starting off with Mercury, the first planet from the Sun and the smallest planet, only slightly larger than Earth Moon. Named after the Roman god messenger, travel, and commerce, Mercury, Latin Mercurius, moves across the sky faster than any other planet, orbiting the Sun every 88 Earth days. NASA's Messenger spacecraft orbited Mercury for more than 4 years, determining Mercury's surface composition. Hermes is the Greek counterpart. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, is named after the Roman goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. Most features on Venus are named for women. It's the only planet named after a female god. NASA's Mariner 2 was the first spacecraft to visit Venus on December 14, 1962. NASA is planning 2 new missions to Venus, Veritas and Da Vinci. Aphrodite is the Greek counterpart. Earth, the third rock from the Sun, the only planet whose English name isn't from Roman mythology, taken from Old English and Germanic, meaning the ground. There are many names for our planet in different languages. Active missions to explore the planet is basically anybody experiencing life on Earth. Although there isn't any direct relation to mythology, Earth is often associated with Terra or Tellus Mater, or the Greek counterpart Gaia. But this is more of a modern interpretation. It's literally a coincidence. Mars, the 4th planet from the Sun, named after the Roman god of war. The reddish color is representative of the Roman god and conflict in some cultures. In some flags, the color red represents the bloodshed in war by its people protecting their land. Mars is one of the most explored bodies in our solar system, and it's the only planet where we've sent rovers to roam the alien landscape. Aries is the Greek counterpart. Jupiter, the 5th planet from the Sun and the king of planets, named after the Roman king of the gods, the largest and most powerful in the pantheon and the solar system, reflecting the planet's size. Jupiter has the shortest day in the solar system, taking about 9.9 hours to spin around once on its axis. NASA's Juno mission is currently in orbit around Jupiter, studying its atmosphere, magnetic field, and polar regions. Past missions like Voyager 1 and 2, Pioneer 10 and 11, Galileo, and Cassini also contributed significantly to our understanding of the planet. Zeus is the Greek counterpart. Saturn, the sixth planet from the Sun, named after the Roman god of agriculture, time, and harvest, associated with the planet's rings and the cycles of time. The name Saturn has been used since ancient times. Saturn is a massive ball made mostly of hydrogen and helium. It's surrounded by a beautiful ring system. It's the farthest planet from Earth discovered by the unaided human eye. Fun fact, Saturn is the name that inspired Saturday, but after the god, not the planet. Cronus is the Greek counterpart. Those were the names given by ancient Roman astronomers to the most visible with the naked eye planets in the night sky. In the modern era, with technological advancement, notably the telescope, other planets were discovered. Telescopes help scientists to study planets up close, especially those that couldn't be identified or properly identified as planets, as ancient books referred to them as stars. Specifically, the next planet on the list, Uranus, the seventh planet and only one of the 8 planets with a Greek name compared to the other ones that all have a Latin, ancient Roman name. This one actually has a Greek name. Discovered on March 13, 1781 by German-British astronomer William Herschel, named after the ancient Greek god of the sky, father of the Titans. Fun fact, it took over 70 years after its discovery to finally find a conventional name. In this case, the Roman counterpart is Caelus. Now sit around, I have a story to tell. Uranus wasn't the original name of the planet, as William Herschel, having power of discovery on his side, had other ideas. He decided to name it Georgium Sidus, or George's Star, breaking from the ancient tradition of Roman deities. As he wrote on his letter to Joseph Banks, in the fabulous ages of ancient times, the appellation of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn were given to the planets as being the names of their principal heroes and divinities. In the present, more philosophical era, it would hardly be allowable to have recourse to the same method and call it Juno, Pallas, Apollo, or Minerva for a name to our new heavenly body. The first consideration of any particular event or remarkable incident seems to be its chronology. If in any future age it should be asked, when this last found planet was discovered, it should be a very satisfactory answer to say, in the reign of King George III. The name Uranus was finally accepted by the scientific community, suggested by German astronomer Johann Elert Bode. Uranus is the Latinized version of the Roman god Uranus. The name elegance was highlighted as Uranus is the father of Saturn, and Saturn is the father of Jupiter, bringing the family together, a literary masterclass. Fun fact, German chemist Martin Klaproth named the element uranium in support of Johann Bode's name proposal. But I personally can't stop thinking. For one, to maintain tradition and keep it mythology related, and it sounding too nationalistic, perhaps even more imperialistic, I can understand why naming it Georgium Sidus wasn't popular. But why not using the other variation of the name, Uranus, instead of the Latinized version of Uranus, which is obviously an English punchline? That's like a subtle diss, sneak dissing. After stripping all of George III references from it, I personally think it was on purpose. As comedian Chuck Nice, the co-host of Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson cleverly put it, they just wanted to name the planet George's ass because there's no other way. I don't believe that it was because of the elegance that Uranus is the father of Saturn and Saturn is the father of Jupiter, yada yada. I get it, but I don't buy it. I don't buy that was the reason. But as telescope helped identify observable objects, others were predicted by mathematical calculations. Neptune, the eighth planet in the solar system, its existence was predicted by French astronomer and mathematician Urbain Le Verrier, named after the Roman god of the sea, reflecting the planet's deep blue color. Neptune's name wasn't without controversy, as Le Verrier wanted to name the planet after himself. I agree, I would have done the same. However, the St. Petersburg Academy of Sciences went with Neptune instead. Poseidon is its Greek counterpart. A notable mention, Pluto, the demoted ninth planet of the solar system. It was March 30th, 1930, Venezia Bernie Fair from Oxford, England, an 11-year-old girl with interest in Greco-Roman mythology. She proposed Pluto to her granddad over breakfast with her mother. Aware of the naming convention of the other planets, she explained it made sense to name it after the Roman god of the underworld, as at the time, it was the ninth and last planet in the solar system. And then Pluto was demoted to a dwarf planet. I have a personal beef I will never let go with the International Astronomical Union. The beef lives in my head, and it's at the diss track stage of the beef. I can't rap in real life, but in my head, it's created the second best diss track of all time after Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. I'm waiting for your response, IAU. I'm waiting for your response, IAU. But I digress. So that is it for the names of the planets in the solar system. I'm thinking of making a second part of this video or like a sequel. So let me know in the comments if you liked the video. I'm looking for some sort of feedback by whoever is watching this video. I don't know if you're watching, if you reached to this point in the video, let me know. Did you like it? I'm doing a second part regardless, but you know, it will motivate me to do the second one. So if you dig the video, please hit the like button and perhaps consider subscribing. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.